Welcome to Beyond the Spread. It's been good. It's been a good week. Football, crazy weekend. Kind of I'm not going to say dud of a weekend, but this is Beyond the Spread. I am Bryce Medeiros, the host. We got a lot of ball to talk about. Holy shit. Sorry, making one last note. Let me get this down. And this. And this. Sorry, a couple last notes. If you're watching YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Help your boy out. Let's get to 25 subscribers. I would love to get to 25 subscribers. I'd love to get to 1 million subscribers, but we're not there yet. We got some ball to talk about. We have a good slate. I think like a much better slate than last weekend. I think the college football slate last weekend, don't get me wrong, we had the games. We had Miami, Florida State, which we're going to jump into a little bit of a recap. But NFL was like, it was okay. We had some fucking blowouts, and we had some late game comebacks, and we had some tight games. But I would say majority across the board, it was kind of like lopsided in most games, especially in the NFL. Again, we'll recap it all, but I just want to give you a little teaser on what's going on. Let's talk MLB right out of the bat. Let's talk some, playing catch. Let's play some catch. I'm never catching, FYI. You catch my vibe? I'm never catching. I'm not saying I'm batting either, but you know what I mean. Anyways, MLB baseball, playoffs are in full swing. First round happened. I hate baseball, like the setup of the playoffs. Like it's 3 games in the opening round. What are we doing? I absolutely hate it. I'm not a fan of it. I think they could do so much more. Give me 3 games, really. We're going to find out who's better team in 3 games. I guess you play the entire season to get a higher seed and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get that. But at the same time, it's like, it's playoffs. Let's fucking extend it a little bit. Shorten the games. Shorten the season by, 20 games? Get an extra week in there. Easy. My goodness. My voice is all fucked up right now. Give me a sec. But holy shit. I don't like that. And even into this round, it's only 5 games. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like it's right now, like sure. You want to call it the wild card weekend, all that kind of stuff. 3 games, fine. The second round should be at least 7. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care. Okay? It should be 7 games from wild card after the wild card. Sure, 3 games, whatever. Everything after should be 7 games. That's just my opinion. I think baseball is terrible at marketing the sport as it is. I think they played the games the worst times. I get it. You're competing with football season at the end of the year when football's starting up. I get that. But at the same time, it's like people love baseball. If you watch sports, it's like, okay, you're going to pay attention to the playoffs in hockey and baseball. Everything else, it's like, okay, we're dialed in on basketball. We're dialed in on football. Hockey, I'm a casual fan of hockey, kind of like I am baseball. But like, I'll watch the playoffs. But like right now, it's like there's a game going on, and it's a fucking Tuesday night. What are we doing, baseball? I don't know. And I get it. You have to play in a certain amount of days and all that kind of stuff. Give players rest, and you don't want to play you don't want to play on a Friday. Like I get it. Okay, I get it. The organization of it all, I get it. It's my thing with baseball. I don't get it. I don't understand why they run the things that they do. I don't know why the things that they do. I don't know. Figure it out, Rob Manfred. Anyways, we got Tigers and Mariners. Series is tied 1-1. I'm pulling for the Mariners. I think the Mariners they were disrespected for 30 years. I don't know. The last time they were in the World Series. I'm pulling for casual baseball fan here. Casual, okay? I'm not trying to name any names. I'm going to make some predictions because what my gut's telling me. I'm pulling for the Mariners. Detroit Tigers is a great story. They started out incredibly hot this season, but they kind of just fell off. I'm pulling for the Mariners. Yankees, Blue Jays. Blue Jays beat the fuck out of the Yankees the other night. What was it, 14-3 when I looked at it? Disgusting. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit that grand slam. One of the best pimp jobs I've seen of a baseball bat in a long time. Rise left his bat. He's like, that's gone. He knew it was gone. And he just gave it a little, flipped it backwards, took a lap around the bases. Just a hell of a pimp job by him. I'm pulling for Toronto because I've never been a fan of the Yankees. And, yeah, I think that's all I need to say. It's one of those things where there's rivalries in sports, but like there are certain teams that you can just not pull for. Dallas Cowboys being one of them. I like Dak. I like Dak. I like fucking Pickens. I like Lamb. I love Ezekiel Elliott. I love that offensive line that they used to have for Ezekiel Elliott. They used to run out of the ball, but I was never pulling for the Dallas Cowboys. You can't tell me they're America's team. You can't force that down my throat. That is not how this works. That's one point. Anyways, back to Yankees Blue Jays. I'm pulling for the Blue Jays. They're up 2-0. I'd love to see Toronto get deep into the playoffs. And the Yankees, you see Yankees fans on Twitter crying and complaining like, "Oh, we didn't have that high expectations or all that kind of stuff." It's like, you're the Yankees, okay? You have the historic 27 rings that you love to rub in people's faces, and now you're backing off of it. You can't have it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. They're not a good team. Yes, you have your 27 rings, but you can't back down off of expectations. But just because you guys aren't playing good, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. I like the Blue Jays in this series. Look, can I flip my switch and be like, yeah, it'd be cool if the Yankees won ring 28? Absolutely. That'd be amazing. It'd be historic. But right now, in the current moment, I'm pulling for the Blue Jays. On the other side of the bracket, we got Dodgers-Phillies. Dodgers up 2-0. It's not looking good for the Phillies. I think this is very questionable thinking right here. We all know it's Clayton Kershaw's last year. I think there's going to be somewhat of a rigged system in his where, Kershaw goes out with a dub, gets his last ring, goes out on the golden sail, all that kind of stuff. But the Phillies just don't look good. I mean, up until the end of the last two games, like inning 8 and 9, they turned it on. But the Phillies, top down, dude, just don't look like a good squad right now. And it sucks because I was really pulling for the Phillies. I really wanted to see them win. I really want to get fucking Bryce Harper another ring or a first ring. I don't know. Again, I'm a casual. Cubs, Brewers, Milwaukee's up 2-0. I'm pulling for the Brewers. It'd be cool to see the Cubs make kind of a decent run because, the history behind the Cubs and all that kind of stuff. Won their first ring they ended the longest drought in 2016. It's cool to see them back in the playoffs. I think I've never been to Wrigley Field, but that is one of the stadiums that is on my bucket list where I'd love to go see a game or even a series. But the Brewers have been hot since the end of the year. They won like 20 straight or something like that, 19 straight. So we got that. I got Mariners, Blue Jays in the next round. Phillies, Brewers. Again, that's not a hot take. Brewers in 7 over the Dodgers. I kind of like that. Again, I think there's going to be some controversial calls, maybe a pitch outside or a walk or, I know baseball is pretty black and white, but you can still twist the system a little bit, I feel like. I'm going to take the Brewers in 7 over the Dodgers. And then I got Mariners in 6 over the Blue Jays. So we got Mariners, Brewers, 1 seed versus 2 seed. Brewers versus Mariners. I got Mariners in 5. Not Mariners in 5. I got Brewers in 5. Sorry, let me retract that. Brewers in 5. I think Mariners get 1 at home, and then the Brewers kind of close it out or go up 3-1 on the road, and then I think they come home and win it. I'm not trying to disrespect Mariners because I am pulling for them, but I think it's the Brewers' year. I'd love to see them get a ring. I really, really would. Again, baseball casual, don't come at my fucking throat like you're wrong, all this kind of stuff, whatever. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'm a casual. I'll dive deeper into it as we get closer. But till then, it's like, whatever. I just pop it on the TV and pop my head up every once in a while if there's not football on. Let's talk some college ball. You see the dogs at. We're back on track. You see the dog golf bag right there, or the dog head cover right there too. Go Dogs. Not sponsored or TaylorMade sponsored. I'd love to be TaylorMade sponsor if you want to, throw me a check, TaylorMade. I'd love to be TaylorMade sponsor. I'll start making golf content easily. I'll get up a fucking tripod and start doing this kind of stuff. Football recap. Miami's legit. It's confirmed. I know we've been talking about it for the last couple weeks, but Miami's legit. They go into Florida State. They handle business. Florida State was kind of in that game for a little bit, but Miami, they never flinched. They never flinched. I like Miami. Again, I think they maybe the best team in college. Second, 2 or 3. I was having this conversation with my roommate. I think Ohio State's 1-1 overall. They've just continued the dominance since last year, even though you guys lost to Michigan. It is what it is. I think it's Ohio State 1. You could twist my arm for 2 and 3. It's either Oregon and Miami or Miami and Oregon. Oregon hasn't flinched either. They go into Penn State last week. They handle business. They get the pick late in the game. They were in that game the entire time. That quarterback has not flinched. Moore, whatever his name is, he hasn't flinched. Carson Beck has looked good too. I mean, I think those are the top 3 right now. Yeah, I mean, Miami's legit. That defense travels. That offense knows how to score the ball. Again, I think it's going to come down to Cristobal when he's in a late game tight, which if you look at their schedule, they got Louisville's not a rollover, but they're going to be in that game for a little bit. But they could easily win out. They could easily be 1 or 2 seed by the end of the year. They could stay at 3 if Ohio State and Oregon stay at the top 2. So I think those three, if they win out, I think you could twist my arm for Oregon 2 or Miami 3. It'll come down to it when playoff seeding gets truly deep, when we're actually making brackets and going through the rankings and all that kind of stuff. Ohio State's 1 right now. But, yeah, Miami's legit. I like Miami a lot. A&M handled business against Mississippi State. Mississippi State was never really in that game. A&M just looks dominant. I mean, they look really good. Ever since that Notre Dame win, they've kind of brought the life back into that program. Look, they were building something last year. You could feel it kind of last year. This year, they kind of turned it to a different notch. They really, really did. I like them a lot. I have Penn State, LOL. Nittany Lions. My goodness. You go into UCLA and you get your ass handed to you. I mean, my goodness. Sure, you make a little bit of a run at the end. UCLA goes down and scores on the first possession. Fine. You're like, okay, whatever. They scored. We're back in this game no matter what. It changed immediately after that kickoff. You could tell they were in shell shock. They did not know how to get out of it. If you missed it, UCLA goes down, scores on the first possession. And then they kick surprise onside kick. Shocked everyone, and they get it. From that moment on, I just feel like Penn State never recovered. They were never back in that game. Anything. UCLA did not lead for a single in their first 4 games. 0-4. They didn't lead for a single second in those first 4 games. They go at home and beat a top-ranked team. I mean, what do you do if you're a Penn State fan? I know you're calling for James Franklin's head. But do you do it? Do you have the balls to actually do it? I don't know, because they're always at the top of the ranks. They're always in the conversation of being like, hey, this could be Penn State's year. It's not this year. Oh my goodness. What do you do? What do you do? I legitimately have no idea what you do if you're a Penn State fan or if you're the athletic director at Penn State or even on that football team. This team was supposed to have a legit defense, a really solid run game, and you went and got out wide receivers out of the portal. Nothing has clicked. Nothing has clicked. Just a bad time for Penn State. Just a bad time for Penn State. If I'm being honest, that was an embarrassing loss for Penn State. It was embarrassing because UCLA. Think about that. You are in 4 games. UCLA played 4 games, 0-4. They didn't lead for a single second. Not even like hey, we got the ball the first time. We're gonna go down and kick a field goal. No, never. Absolutely embarrassing for Penn State. Embarrassing. And I don't know what happens at the end of the year. Obviously, I don't think you do a coaching change in the middle of the year, but James Franklin's seat is on fire, I feel like. I know it's been kind of like lukewarm for the last couple of years where you get all this talent in, you're making deep runs, you're losing maybe 1 or 2 games a year, and nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. I don't know what's going to happen, but at the end of the year, James Franklin, I think he gets picked up. I mean, same with kind of Dabo Swinney right now. It's like, do they go get picked up immediately? Like Dabo, I don't know. James Franklin, I think, will lead, could get another good job right out of the bat, but Dabo is questionable. But James Franklin, I think, could. But again, you look at his track record. He doesn't win the big ones. He'll get you damn near close to the finish line, but he's always going to get surpassed by some other team. My goodness. On to that note. On to the next one. Texas. AP, number 1 team in the country coming into this year. The expectations are through the roof. Even right here, I said it. I was like, I love Texas this year. I think they have the potential to winning the national championship. boy, was I wrong. I was wrong. Texas. Oh my God. Is Arch injured? Is Sarkisian? Does he have the training wheels on Arch? I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Is he not? Is Arch not that good? Because yeah, like last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about it. It's like, he might be injured. He's not seeing the field correctly. All this kind of stuff. But my goodness, he just doesn't look good. You're watching him throw the ball, and you're like, what? How are we missing this? Why are the reads happening so late? This is what you practice on week in, week out, and throughout the entire summer. The reads are late. He's holding on the ball way too long. And even the beginning of the game, he's like, let's get a couple easy ones going, get the ball out of your hands. But, man, when it comes down to crunch time, or even when you need to get a drive down the field to get some momentum going, the ball is just sticking to his hands. And the passes aren't perfect, but still, the passes are in his hand. Like, he sees the read, he sees it coming, and then he still is holding onto the ball. Let that motherfucker fly, Arch. You're not going to win anything this year. Let's put that down right now in stone. Texas might win a bowl game, not for sure. But let's just let that motherfucker rip. You lost 2 games. You're not going to make the playoffs unless you somehow the SEC just crumbles beneath you and you make the championship, the SEC championship, and win that. But that's not going to happen. I don't know. I don't know what to think of Texas. I know they're not good. I think they were way overranked. I mean, I said it. I thought they were going to win the championship this year. I thought they had a good chance. They have Arch Manning. You say Manning, and you're like, oh, my God, right? But, man, they don't look good. It's bad. It's bad down in Austin. The alarm has been going off, but no one has answered it, and someone's finally answered, be like, hey, are we okay? Like, is Arch the guy? Like, are we having that conversation right now? I don't know. I think you let it fly the rest of the year. I say whatever happens. Make maybe a bowl game. And you're Texas. You're going to get a decent bowl game name. You're not going to be, in the playoffs, but you're going to be, heading to some notable game, not the fucking, I don't know, Honeywell fan convention bowl game. I don't know, but you're going to make some type of bowl game because your name is Texas. You just got to win some games. But Arch, I think Sarkisian needs to let Arch let that ball rip. I think he needs to be like, hey, you see this, you throw this ball immediately. I don't care if it's a pick. I don't care if it gets knocked down. I don't care if it's 3rd and 3 and we're down 10 and there's 5 minutes left. You let that rip. I think you got to let him free it up. Bama and Vandy was a really good game. I mean, Bama handled business. They covered late. I think I think I'm late to this party on this one, but I think Bama, we overreacted to that FSU loss. FSU was kind of slid off a hill. That was a big win for them. Congrats to FSU. They've teetered with it. I mean, you lose to Virginia 2 weeks ago. But I think Bama, Ty Simpson, him and the Oregon quarterback Moore are tied for the Heisman right now. I like Bama. I do. I mean, being unbiased, let me turn this hat around real quick. Being unbiased, I think Bama's really good. I really do. They've turned it. They've steered the ship. They steered the ship around. They figured some things out. That defense is playing good now. Ty Simpson looks comfortable, and they have a solid run game. I mean, what more can you want? And Kalen DeBoer, I think everyone's kind of forgot about him being on the hot seat. I think I said it earlier. Let's fucking relax a little bit. Yes, they might not be good, but don't call for his job immediately. I like Bama. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be solid. They might fuck around and make a deep run in the playoff. I really believe that. Yeah, I mean, Vandy looked okay. I mean, Diego Pavia didn't have his best game. I mean, he was balling out in that first half. That second half hit. It was like, okay, Bama hit a switch, and then, again, they covered late. It's 4th and 2. You're trying to run the ball out, and then they just break one late, and they cover the game. I had Vandy. It kind of hurt, but it was also like, okay, Bama, you know the spread. I'm telling you, these coaches know the spread. Lane Kiffin knows the spread every single week. I bet you they get a sheet later in the week. They're like, okay, we're 11-point favorites. We got to cover. We just have to. Yeah, that's really it. I got, again, OSU 1, Miami, Oregon 2. You could twist my arm, vice versa. Right now, if you had to put a gun to my head, Ohio State, Gosh, I really want to say Miami. I really, really want to say Miami. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. Ohio State, Miami, Oregon 3. Those are my top 3 right now. After that, there's so much change up. There's so many things going on that we don't know about. And yeah, I like it. College football is the fucking best. I love college football. Let's talk some games. Ohio State going to Illinois. Ohio State minus 14.5. Ohio State has beat Illinois 10 straight times. So what does that say? 14.5 feels like a lot. 14.5 feels like a fucking lot. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up my notes. Ohio State minus 14.5 at Illinois. Ohio State is 4-1 against spread in the last Big Ten games. Illinois is 2-8 against the spread in the last 10 home games versus ranked teams. Ohio State has covered 7 of the last 10 games against Illinois. Ohio State tends to dominate weaker Big Ten opponents. They've won the last 5 road games by an average of 18.4 points. Based off that stat, it's just hard for me to go against Ohio State right now. They are the number 1 team in the country. Illinois has looked good. They kind of steered the ship after they got their ass handed to them against Indiana. I just think it's Ohio State. Give me Ohio State minus the 14.5. I know it's a huge spread, but I'm kind of with it. I prove me otherwise. Tell me why Illinois is going to cover this game, or tell me why you think the line isn't. It should be even more than that. 14.5 again. 10 straight over Illinois. Illinois is 2-8 against the spread in the last 10 home games versus ranked teams, and you're playing the number 1 team in the country. Not good. Give me Ohio State minus 14.5. Bama at Missouri. Bama minus 2.5. Bama is 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 road SEC games. They've struggled as small favorites. Missouri has gone 6-1 against the spread at home since the season. Bama has covered only once in its last 5 games as a favorite under a touchdown. Missouri is 7-3 against the spread as a home underdog since 2021. They play up. They know how to play ball when it comes to their home field. 2.5 seems like a fuck. If this was around like 6.5, 7.5, I'd probably say, hey, Missouri's going to cover this. It comes down to a field goal. Fuck, what did that say? Let me read this again. Missouri's gone 6-1 against the spread at home, at least 6-1 at home since last season. But it's a field goal. Give me Bama. I'll fucking ride with Bama this week. Give me Bama minus the 2.5. Indiana at Oregon. Oregon minus 7.5. Oregon is 8-2. Just some stats for you guys. 8-2 against the spread in the last 10 home games. Indiana, 2-9 against the spread in its last 11 road games. Oregon has covered 5 straight non-conference games at home. Oregon's offense is averaging 42 points per game at home, and he hasn't scored 30-plus points on a Power 5 team all season. With all that being said, Indiana looks really, really good. Really good. I mean, they have whatever. I forgot his name. Glasses guy, head coach. He's got that ship turned around. He's got that entire thing flowing so nicely right now. But you're going into Oregon. I think this is a morning game, which kind of plays, into Oregon's hand. I think Oregon's kind of still feeling themselves after going into Penn State and winning that game. Give me Oregon minus the 7.5. I don't love it. I hate that pick. I think Indiana might squeeze a cover out late in this game, whether it's a late field goal, try to get an onside late, that kind of thing, or Oregon's just going to beat the shit out of them. I don't think there's anywhere in between. I don't think Oregon keeps this close. It's a boat race or Indiana covers extremely late. Oklahoma at Texas, Red River rivalry. Say that 10 times fast. Texas is minus 1.5. I don't like this. I don't like that. The underdog in this game is 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 Red River rivalry games. The over has hit at least 6 out of the last 7 times. Oklahoma is 5-1 against the spread in neutral site games since 2022. 6 of the last 8 were decided by 7 points or fewer. Here's my thing. Is John Mateer playing? Maybe if he comes back, he can maybe squeak out a Heisman, at least an invite to New York. But if John Mateer, they might be able to win without John Mateer. I know it's a neutral site. I know it's down in fucking Dallas or whatever it is, Cotton Bowl. If John Mateer is not playing, I still don't feel confident about Texas. We just talked about him. We just talked about how, look, it's a rivalry game. People play up in this game, all that kind of stuff. I just haven't seen it from Arch. I haven't seen enough from Arch. That makes me want to take Texas so bad. I think I saw a report that John Mateer is going to try to play in this game. Now, what level that looks like? Is he going to be fully healthy? Probably not. He just had surgery, 2 weeks ago? He could be back in time for this game, but I don't think he's going to be in there, or he might start and, get a few plays in or get a series in, make some short passes, see how it feels. He might be a game-time decision. I still think it's Oklahoma. I really do. I just don't think Texas has been in it this year. I don't think Arch is that good right now. Talk to me next year about Arch, but I think it's Oklahoma plus the 1.5. Again, hit the over if you can. Again, I don't know what it's at. I wish I could tell you. Let's tell you real quick, actually. If it's in the 40s, I think I'm smashing it. If it's in the low 50s, I'm also smashing it. Once we touch 60, I don't think so. Let's see. Red River rivalry game. Over-under is 42.5. I'm smashing that over. And not only because John Mateer is not playing, I still think, Oklahoma looked totally fine without him against, I know it was Kent State, but still, give me Oklahoma, and I will take the over 42.5. Florida at A&M. A&M is 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 home games. 4 home games, they're 4-0 against the spread. Florida is 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 SEC road games. The favorite has covered 5 straight in this series. A&M is favored by a touchdown or more. They are 9-2 straight up, but only 6-5 against the spread in that span. It's a lot of stats going on right there. I'm taking A&M straight up. I think they win this game, but the 7.5 I'm a little worried about. My only thing is why I'm taking A&M minus the 7.5. Not only do they look good, Florida's got their swagger back, right? They win a game against Texas in the swamp. You get your swagger back. But then you got to go to A&M and be like, okay, we still have our swagger back, but Texas isn't that good. I think A&M might fuck around and make the playoffs this year. I think they have a good chance of it. Give me A&M minus the 7.5. I don't think Florida will be in this game late. I think A&M will run away with it. I think it's going to be a good game, but nevertheless, I still like A&M. We just talked about them. I think. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I know they're going to cover this game. Give me the lock of the week on A&M minus the 7.5. Lock of the week. Georgia at Auburn. Georgia going to Auburn. Georgia is 2-8 against the spread in its last 10 SEC road games. Auburn is 5-2 against the spread at home versus ranked opponents since 2022. The under has hit 6 of the last 8 times Georgia and Auburn have played. Auburn keeps it close at home. 4 of the last 5 versus Georgia at home have been decided by 1 score. We're below a score on this one. Georgia's minus 3.5. I know it's a score, but still. Oh. Last week, I bet against Georgia. I took the Kentucky plus the 20.5. Georgia ends up covering. All this kind of stuff. I know Auburn's defense is pretty good. I know they're they're a really good defensive team. Offense struggles. Now going into Auburn, it's a little bit different environment. Gunnar Stockton playing I wouldn't say his best ball, but he's figuring it out. Ever since that Bama loss, he's kind of settled in. Let's just say settled in. He hasn't exceeded expectations, but he's kind of just met the expectation. Give me Georgia minus 3.5. I think Auburn's an inferior opponent. Obviously, I know it. I know the stats say Auburn is 5-2 against the spread at home versus ranked opponents since 2022. If the spread was a little bit higher, I might be leaning Auburn in the spread. I think Georgia wins regardless. Now covering is a completely different conversation. Give me Georgia minus 3.5. Take this in out. That's the games we got. We got what? 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and I took I went all favorites besides one. I give me Oklahoma plus the 1.5. Oregon at home minus 7.5. Bama on the road. That Bama one makes me nervous. Something about Missouri, man. Every time a good team goes into Missouri, even Georgia does it. When they played them last year or the year before, they just don't look good. Something about going to Missouri. Oh, do I flip Bama? Do I flip Bama? Do I flip Bama? Or do I flip Ohio State? You know what? Fuck it. We're going to let it ride. Home, or we're going favorites. 5 out of the 6 across the board. Oklahoma's the only one. Let's talk some NFL. Let's talk NFL. Crazy kind of week. Again, like I said, there were high-scoring games. There were close games. Then teams coming back late. Broncos especially. First things first. Flacco is a Bengal. I don't know in what world this makes sense in, but it's better than Jake Browning. I can tell you that much. Flacco actually might go out there and throw the ball around and hit some targets. But he might have got traded to maybe the worst offensive line in the entire league. Now, the Browns' offensive line wasn't good either. But when you go Flacco as a Bengal, you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you got an okay run game. Jake Browning was at least kind of mobile enough to kind of step up in the pocket a little bit. It doesn't scream success to me, but it screams, hey, he might win us a few games here and get us to the playoffs where Joe Burrow might come in at least 80% healthy and do some damage. With that being said, again, it's better than Jake Browning. I would have loved to see Jameis. I want to say Russell Wilson, but not even Russell Wilson. Jameis was the perfect fit. Jameis was going to let it fly. I think Flacco is going to be very aware of what the situation is. He's like, okay, I'm coming in here. I'm going to win you. What are we in? Middle of October. I'm going to win you optimistically 6 out of the next 8 games. I know there's a bye week somewhere in there. Maybe 5. Anything below 5, it's okay. I mean, they got a 5th round pick out of him for the Flacco for the Browns. Is what it is. It doesn't really be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, but it's also like, it's a step up from Jake Browning because Jake Browning is not a starter in this league. He is a true and tried backup, which, hey, no disrespect to you. Backup quarterback might be the best job in the entire world, but it doesn't scream like this was the best decision ever. Again, you want to make the playoffs. This is a move for Joe Burrow saying, hey, Joe, get healthy, have your surgery, rehab, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you in December around Christmas time. That's that. That was the big news of the day. Recapping this last Sunday, Colts are dominant. They absolutely roll. I'm impressed with Daniel Jones. I'm taking a step back and being like, hey, I'm giving him some cushion now. I'm giving him some leash, some slack. I'm giving him some slack. Where if he has a bad game, it's going to be like, okay, you know what? Daniel Jones had a bad game. If he has multiple of those, it's be like, okay, we're seeing Daniel Jones again. But right now, Daniel Jones looks amazing. A potential Pro Bowler at this point. That defense is rolling. Jonathan Taylor is having a fucking hell of a year. Colts are looking solid. They're going to win that division. Spencer Rattler gets his first win as a starter for the Saints. Excuse me. First quarterback that the Saints have drafted to win a home game or win a game since like the 1980s. I don't even know who it was before. Broncos beat the Eagles. Let's go. Bo looked crappy for the first 3 quarters, then stepped it up in the fourth. I think the Broncos had 160 yards in the fourth quarter, where the Eagles had like 15. Eagles couldn't move the ball. Eagles' first loss in a calendar year. That's crazy. I mean, the Eagles they look okay. They look okay. I said it last week that they're the best all-around team, talking from every position standpoint, other than maybe DB. Hell of a running game, good defense. Jalen Hurts just doesn't look right. It's like they're leaning on the run game so much that, like, hey, you're going to have to come beat us, which the Broncos ended up doing. They are just I don't know. They're still a really good team, but it's just not impressive. It's not impressive what they're doing. Look, a win is a win. Your record says what you are. You're 4-1. Say you're a good football team. You're a really good football team. But it hasn't been like, oh my gosh, this team is headed towards the Super Bowl or like on a deep playoff run. I'm waiting for that switch. I'm waiting for that switch where Jalen Hurts, Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith just have that nuclear game. When they have that nuclear game where, Jalen Hurts throws for 220, Saquon has a touchdown, Jalen Hurts has 3 total touchdowns, then we can be like, okay, they're easily by and far away in the league of their own. Baltimore is horrible. That defense is horrific. Again, they have so many injuries. They're all pros. All the people that are injured right now are taking up like 80% of their cap space. So there's a lot of second string players on that defense. And my goodness, Cooper Rush, it's a hard watch. It's a hard watch. I had Houston last week, thank God. But man, it's a hard watch. I thought they were going to lean on Derrick Henry a lot more. It's just not flowing. It's one of those seasons where you're like, okay, let's get Lamar in. Let's see if we can rattle off like 4 or 5 wins, sneak into the playoffs, and see what happens. But if Lamar comes in and the same shit continues to happen, it's kind of one of those seasons where it's like, okay, hey man, let's just take it how it is and let's get out of this season as healthy as we possibly can, and then regroup next year. That's kind of the way it is. Because it sucks too, because DeAndre Hopkins is at the end of his career. I want to see him get a ring. Lamar was having a great 3 or 4 games. He really was. Like statistically, he was having a terrific 3 or 4 games. But that defense, man, that defense. I forgot the stat. I forgot what year, but it was one of the Ray Lewis defense. They gave up 155 points total the entire year. This year alone, the Ravens have given up 177 points. That's unheard of as a Bengals defense. Or not Bengals, Ravens defense. Unheard of. You think back to it, you got Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed on the back end. Like those defenses were dominant. And even when you go into Baltimore, you're like, okay, crowd's going to be loud. This defense is going to be tough week in and week out. But no, you can roll over the fucking Ravens right now as a defense. Tennessee gets his first win in a crazy ending. If you missed it, Tennessee's driving. Cam Ward throws a pick. The defender gets up, stumbles, fumbles the ball again, and then what's his name? Seahawks old receiver, Seahawks old receiver, Ty Lockett, I think it is, picks it up in the end zone, scores. Titans get their first win. That wasn't the end of the game, but it was like towards the end, and it was like, okay, they win. Tampa and Baker, the best team to watch right now in football, easily, hands down, bar none. If they can get out to a better start, like they did this week, they started out good against Seattle. Seattle was in that game the entire way. But man, they are fun to watch. They, out of the last, 3 or 4 games, they've won on a game-winning field goal. They know how to hang around. They know how to battle back. Their defense is keeping them in games. They're not giving up a shit ton of points unless their offense can also score a shit ton of points. But they're the best. They're by far the best team to watch right now. And then, late in the game, you knew Sam Darnold was going to make a mistake. He is one of those quarterbacks that, if he has a lead, they're not going to give it up. They're going to get down the field, get a touchdown, get a field goal every once in a while, and extend that lead. If it's a tight game, I don't trust Sam Darnold to go down the field and give us a game-winning touchdown. Sure, he can get you into field goal range, but to make that clutch throw, I don't see Sam Darnold making that throw. Chargers are trending down. I know the injuries are stacking up. You got to kind of right the ship. Omarion Hampton went out this week. He's going to be out like 3 or 4 weeks. The Chargers' offensive line is banged up. It's trending down. It's just not looking good. Patriots, big win against Buffalo, Sunday Night Football. I had the Bills. I was all over the Bills. I think everyone in the fucking world besides 10% of the betting population was all over the Bills. Huge win in Buffalo. The thing that pisses me off, it's not a passing of the torch. Sure, Buffalo hasn't done a whole lot since taking over the division, since Tom Brady left. They haven't done a whole lot. Fair. That's totally fair. They make the playoffs. They lose the Chiefs year in and year out. Sure, Josh Allen has an MVP. It's not a passing of the torch. Sure, Drake May and Mike Vrabel are going to be in that division, for the next, 10 years or so. Mike McDaniels, whatever. The offensive coordinator for the Patriots. I don't think it's a passing of the fucking torch. It's not a passing of the torch. You can say, Patriots fans can say all they want, like, passing the torch. Portnoy was on, Instagram, Twitter saying, passing the torch, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened since under the Bills' reign of terror in the AFC North. Like, bro, let's relax. It was a good win. It's not a passing the torch game. It is not a passing the torch game. Sure, you do it again. Make the playoffs first. Let's make the playoffs first. Then we can talk. Like, hey, Patriots make the playoffs for the first time since Tom Brady left, which was what, 19? Sure, first time in 5 or 6 years. Sure, then we can talk like, hey, the Patriots are a lot closer to the Bills than we think. With that being said, Bills are still missing a couple players on defense. Their offense looks good. I trust Josh Allen enough to make the good throws and lead down a game-winning drive with more than 15 to 30 seconds, which they had at the end of the game. Last thing before we get to the picks, Chiefs are 2-3. Hell of a win by Jacksonville last night. I mean, Trevor Lawrence stumbles, gets the right guard, steps on his foot. He stumbles, tries to get up again, stumbles again, hits the ground, runs in for a touchdown, game over. Nothing makes me happier than seeing the Chiefs lose. It was euphoric. I enjoy hate watching more than I like. Don't be wrong. Watching that Broncos game at the end, fantastic. I love seeing it. I love seeing the Eagles blow that kind of thing. But man, something about the Chiefs losing and being 2-3 towards the bottom of the division. Sure, you're better than the Raiders. Who cares? But now it's just like, are they really back? Are they finally plateauing? Which I think they are. And I think last year was kind of a sign of that. They got away with some shit. They had some calls go their way. They had a couple plays go their way. That Ravens game sticks out to me the most, where that tight end has his toe on the line, and the Ravens end up losing that game. Chiefs are 2-3. And I'm Nick Wright. I have bookmarks for you, okay? I saved all the things you said on Twitter. I saved it. Sure, the Broncos might not win the division. They're not 2-3 right now. They might win the division. They could easily win their next 3 or 4 games easily and be towards the top of the division easily. I'm not saying the Chiefs aren't capable of doing so, but 3 losses and you think they're going to win out maybe? I don't think so. I think Patrick Mahomes is terrific. I think Kelsey's a Hall of Famer. It's just not flowing right now. That offense is not flowing. It's not clicking how it's supposed to be. You know what? We're going to save that take. We're going to save that take for later in the year. Patrick Mahomes maybe being a system manager. I'm looking for the right words. Maybe not system manager, not a system quarterback. I'm not looking for that. But like, did he already peak? That kind of question. Did he already peak? The questions are starting to be had. The questions are starting to be asked. Did he peak already? Sure, peaking at 2 or 3 Super Bowls, fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Possibly. It's not looking good. It's just not looking good. Let's get into some picks. Thursday Night Football. Eagles at Giants. Philly minus 6.5. Philly has won the last 13 of the 15 meetings with New York. The Giants are 0-3 against the spread in their last 13 divisional home games. Philly's defense has held the Giants to under 20 points in the last 5 of 6 games. Eagles have averaged 31 points per game against the Giants since 2021. Look, I like Jackson Dart. He's swaggy for a white boy. He's got the chain on. He's rocking the alternate colors when it's supposed to be blue. He's got the red going. He's swaggy. He's just not there yet. And this Eagles team just lost to the Broncos late at home. I think they're going to dominate the Eagles. Give me Philly minus 6.5. Dominate as in, how do I put this? Dominate as in 24-3 kind of thing. I think that's a dominant victory. 24-10, maybe. I'm all over the Eagles Thursday Night Football. Denver at the Jets, maybe not at the Jets, but versus the Jets in London. Another London game. I'm tired of these fucking European games. And also, NFL, we talked about this already, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8 games in the early window and 1, 2, 3, 4 late games in the afternoon. How hard is it to spread it out? How hard is it to spread it out? I don't get it. Make it make sense, please. I'm tired of cramming in my morning watching football all day. Look, I love it. I'm not going to complain about it. But it's like, can we not squeeze one, maybe 2 games in the afternoon window? Come on. Jets minus 7.5 in London. London. Denver has played in London 3 times. They are 2-1 straight up and 1-2 against the spread. Jets are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games outside the U.S. The London unders had hit at a 64% rate over the past 5 seasons. Here's the note. Here's the stat that you need if you're thinking about betting on the Broncos. Denver is just 2-6 against the spread as a favorite since 2023. Fuck. It's the Jets, though. The Jets are horrible. I think our defense is finally figuring out ever since that Colts game. That Colts game was horrible to watch. They didn't know how to tackle. They didn't know how to break down on a tackle. I'm going to take Denver minus the 7.5. Look, I picked the Eagles last week. That's a hand up on me. I should have believed in my team as much as I possibly can. They finally have brought me all the way back. Now, will I revert the next couple weeks? More than likely. 7.5 seems like a large number. It almost wants you to take the Jets. Look, if Denver can go over there and put up 35 points, I'll be impressed. I will be like, okay. But Bo just can't hit those simple throws. They're almost too wide open for him. He almost needs a defender stacked on top of their receiver. Unless it's a 5-yard check down to get a first down or something like that, he's not going to make the throw. This is a big game for the Bo Nix believers. I'm one of them. I am one of them. I need him to make those simple throws, those wide open throws. R.J. Harvey out of the backfield on a wheel route sticks in my mind against the Bengals the other night. Missed him. Just overthrew him. Just put it on his chest. You have a rocket for an arm. Just get what you can get. You don't need to lead him down the field to get another 10 yards. Obviously, that's what we're working towards, and that's what we're progressing towards, but just hit him. Just put him in the chest and let him make the play. Just make sure he catches the ball. That's all I want. Now, this Jets team, Justin Fields, we'll see if he stays in the full game. Justin Fields is he seems like a nice guy. He's just not a starter in the NFL. He's not a starter in the NFL. And I think he has given his best chance to this Jets. I wouldn't be shocked to see Tyrod Taylor come in and play. That makes things a little funky. But give me the Denver Broncos minus the 7.5. Cardinals at Colts. Indy is 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 home games. Arizona's covered 8 of the last 11 road games as an underdog. Whoa. The Colts have scored 27 points in every home game this season. These two haven't played since 2021 when Arizona won by 6. I've been riding the Colts all year. I'm going to continue to ride them. Give me the Colts minus 6.5. I don't think it's overkill. There's bad vibes going around in that Arizona Cardinals team. Kyler Murray, I think, is on his way out, and I think he knows it. I don't think he's played well. I don't think these guys like playing together. I wouldn't be shocked if Kyler gets traded at some point next season. I know it's a big contract, but what was it, a 5-year deal? He's got to be coming close to the end of that. And this Colts team I think they're hot. I think they're red hot right now. I'm going to continue to ride them until they prove me otherwise. Give me the Colts minus 6.5. Chargers at Dolphins. The last 3 meetings have all been decided by 1 possession. Miami has gone 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 home games. Chargers are 7-1 in their last 8 games. Herbert versus Tua always delivers. Both top 10 in passing yards this season. Shocking. I didn't know Tua was like that. It makes me want to take the Chargers. It really does. Omar and Hampton being out. Najee Harris doesn't really do it for me. I know they have a good pass game. Miami's at home. I don't know. Miami's gone 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 home games. Chargers are just trending down. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. They're trending down. I'll take the Dolphins plus the 4.5. I think the Chargers still win. I think they win by 3 or a field goal or something like that. Give me Miami plus the 4.5. Don't feel comfortable about this one because I am a slight Chargers believer. I know they're my division rival, but I still love Justin Herbert and all the things that they're doing there. Give me the Dolphins plus 4.5. Patriots at Saints. Patriots minus 3.5. The Saints are 4-0 against the spread as home underdog since 2022. Patriots are 1-8 against the spread in the last 9 road games. The under has hit 7 of the last 8 meetings. New England has averaged just 14 points per game since week 3. With that being said, that stat right there, that first one I read, the Saints are 4-0 against the spread as a home underdog since 2022. I don't think the Saints are going to win this game. I think, you know what, fuck it. They actually might. I think the Saints might win this game. Maybe, 5% sure. But the Patriots having that big of a win over Buffalo, Sunday Night Football, primetime, all that kind of stuff, I think that's it's a confidence builder, but it's also okay, now we got confidence, but we can go over and roll over the Saints team. Give me the Saints plus 3.5. Give me the Saints plus 3.5. I think this is kind of a blind pick. I'm trusting Spencer Rattler too much. But that stat right there, 4-0 against the spread as home underdog since 2022. I know that's not a glaring stat, it's only 4 games. And we could look at who they were against. But look, the Patriots are riding high of highs. They can continue to keep riding it. I think the Saints are going to be somewhat frisky in this game. My mind goes to maybe the Patriots cover late with a late touchdown or win by 6 or something like that. But right now, I'm all over the Saints plus 3.5. Browns at Steelers. Steelers are minus 5.5. Steelers are 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 home games versus Cleveland. Browns are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 trips to Pittsburgh. Look, the Browns, they just traded away probably their best quarterback. That means Dylan Gabriel's time to shine. Shador is lurking in the shadows. Steelers have been okay. They're that average to good team, right where Mike Tomlin likes to live. Good. They're either average or they're going to be somewhat good. They're not going to surprise you with anything. They're going to go down the field. They're going to get their points when they can get them, and he's going to punt from the 45-yard line. That's just how it is. I like the Steelers minus 5.5. Cleveland doesn't travel well, and you're telling me I have to trust Dylan Gabriel to cover this spread right now against 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so. Give me the Steelers minus the 5.5. Cowboys at Panthers. Cowboys are minus 3.5. Dallas is 8-2 against the spread versus losing teams since 2023. Carolina, on the other hand, is 1-10 against the spread and is the last 11 games overall. Cowboys defense leads the NFL in sacks and pressures. Carolina hasn't beaten Dallas since 2018. I don't think that ends. I don't think that comes near to end. Cowboys minus 3.5. Dak has been having a hell of a year throwing the ball up and down the field. It's been ridiculous. George Pickens is coming to his own. I don't know the status of CeeDee Lamb. I don't know if he's back yet. I don't even know what the fuck he injured a few weeks ago against the Bears. Panthers looked competent last week against the Dolphins. That makes me want to change my Dolphins pick. Would take the Chargers. But new week. I like the Cowboys here. I think they go into Carolina and kind of dominate them, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yeah. Seahawks at Jags. Jacksonville minus 1.5. Huge win against Kansas City again. Loved it. Loved watching Kansas City lose last night. Jacksonville is 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 home games. Seattle is 5-2 against the spread as a road underdog since 2023. The over has hit 4 in 4 straight meetings. Trevor Lawrence has a 110-plus passer rating at home this season. I know everything we just said is telling me take Jacksonville. I'm taking Seattle. Plus the 1.5. I think Sam Darnold's going to go down there and shock the world a little bit. Jacksonville's 4-1. Shout out to Jacksonville. First time since 2017. I like Jacksonville. I like Trevor Lawrence. Love Travis Etienne. I think they're finding their groove right now. Seattle just have a couple tough losses. I think they're going to go down to Seattle or Jacksonville and win this game. In a close one, obviously, but I think they're going to go down there and win. Rams at Ravens. Rams minus 7.5. I don't even know if I need to read these stats because the Ravens are horrible. And if they lost to the Texans last week, the Rams are a significantly better team than the Texans. But let's just read them. Baltimore is 6-2 against the spread in its last 8 home games. Baltimore is 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 home games. Rams are 9-3 against the spread as road underdogs since 2022. Rams won the last time they played in overtime in 2023. Ravens defense is allowing 16.2 points per game, top 3 in the NFL. No fucking way that's right. There's no way that's right. I'm taking the Rams. That stat is misleading. Give me the Rams minus the 7.5. Yeah, I don't. If Lamar Jackson's playing, I switch my pick to cover the plus 7.5. But I'm assuming he's not playing, and I'm gonna have to watch Cooper Rush again. No thanks. No thanks. Give me the Rams minus 7.5. Afternoon games: Titans at Raiders. Titans minus 4.5 at the Raiders. Raiders are minus. What am I reading? Titans at Raiders. Raiders minus 4.5. The Raiders are 2-9 against the spread at home since last season. Titans unders are 10-3 in the last 13 road games. Tennessee has covered 5 straight versus AFC West teams. Titans are 9-1 straight up when that's an old stat. Why the fuck is it showing me that stat? Yeah, old stats. That's an old stat. Those last 2 ones are old stats. I'm going Raiders. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Give me the Titans plus 4.5. Titans plus 4.5. I think they kind of keep it rolling. I don't think this Raiders team is anything special. I don't think they're anything special. I mean, we're waiting for Geno to fucking show up finally. I just Cam Ward. Look, it wasn't an impressive win, but it was a win, and that's all you need to get back on track. Give me the Titans plus 4.5. Bengals at Packers. Packers minus 14.5. Yikes! I'm guessing Joe Flacco's not going to play this game. This is a blind pick. Give me Packers minus 14.5. I don't need to say anything. Green Bay coming off a bye. Bengals are dog shit right now. Hopefully Joe Flacco can kind of change that around. 49ers at Bucks. Bucks minus 2.5. 49ers still injured. Sure, Mac Jones can come in. Sure, Brock Purdy can come in. I just think the Bucks are too much right now. And give me the Bucks minus 2.5. Bucks are finally getting healthy too. Their offensive line is figuring it out. Sure, Mike Evans might be out for another week or two, but Emeka Ibuka has stepped up. Chris Godwin's come back. It sucks Bucky Irving is still hurt, but Rashad White's carrying the load right now. Totally fine. Kate Otten, dog, killing it. Give me the Bucks minus 2.5. Sunday night football. Prime time. Lions at Kansas City. Kansas City minus 2.5. Look, Kansas City needs to win this game. They really, really need to win this game. But they don't look good. They're 2-3. They just lost to a pretty good Jacksonville team right now. Lions are rolling, though. The Lions are rolling. Give me the Lions plus 2.5. Give me the Lions plus 2.5. I think Jared Goff is going to have a great night. Let's hear some stats. Lions are 12-4 against the spread in the last 16 overall. In their last 16, one of the NFL's best marks. Washington. Oh, I skipped that game. Did I skip that game? No, I didn't. I skipped over this one. I didn't. That's the next. Those are the Monday night games. I just think Lions are legitimate. I think they could easily win the NFC. And I like seeing the Chiefs lose, just straight up. I just like seeing the Chiefs lose. Monday Night Football, Buffalo at Falcons. Give me Buffalo minus 3.5. I know the Falcons just came off a bye, but the Falcons are not good. And I think Buffalo has kind of a bad taste in their mouth. They're going down to ATL. I think Buffalo smacks the fuck out of them Monday Night Football. Kind of a shitty game, if I'm being honest. Bears at Commanders, the part of my take bowl. Commanders minus 4.5. These two teams are always pretty close. Bears are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games. Commanders are 0-5 against the spread versus NFC opponents. The last meeting, keynote, Chicago's offense has averaged 29.8 points per game over the last month. Really? Interesting. I want to take the Commanders here. I really do. It's at home. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take the Commanders. Give me the Commanders minus 4.5. They win by a touchdown. Easy. NFL. Whoa. If you're watching this, double check those stats. Double check those stats because some of those I looked them up and I just took screenshots. Some of them might be outdated, but nevertheless, I trust some of these stats. They got to be somewhat accurate, right? These stats. I'm sorry, I'm making a note. Give me the Commanders minus 4.5. I think they win by a touchdown, maybe even 10. Nothing has shown me that the Bears are supposed to cover this game. They might. I mean, Hail Mary last year. Last thing, hockey NHL kicked off this week. Not going to give you a whole lot there. I'm excited to watch it. Yeah, that's it. I'll turn on a hockey game every once in a while when there's not football on or, basketball's around the corner, that kind of stuff. And then let's talk UFC. Alex Pereira is just fucking different. He's different. He doesn't want to go back to the tire shop. He beat the fuck out of that Russian. And I sent out a tweet. I'm tired of the Russians. Look, I like Merab. He seems like a great dude. But I think we have to adjust. Look, and I might be out of my element here talking UFC. If someone gets a takedown, by all means, score that a point. Give them that point. But if they don't do anything on that takedown, cut the point in half or something, because I'm tired of watching them get takedowns and they're not doing anything with it. They take him down and the guy defends it and he gets right back up. I don't get it. It's supposed to be this spectacle of, oh my gosh, look at this takedown. All these Russians and Dagestanians, all they do is wrestle. This is the UFC. Stand up, throw some kicks, sure, mix in a takedown every once in a while. Throw some punches. You guys don't have haymakers. Khabib had like 3 or 4 knockouts in his, 29 wins or something, 19 wins, whatever his stat is. Don't get me wrong, Khabib is one of the greatest of all time. But his wrestling got him there. And look, no one defended it. No one knew how to defend it. I'm not shitting on the wrestling part, but it's just, it's Dagestanians, the Russians, all that kind of stuff. They just know how to wrestle. And kudos to you. That's great. Go wrestle somewhere else. Because I'm trying to see a fight. I'm not trying to see you take him down. Look, if you're going to submit him, by all means do that. But I don't want to see you take him down round after round and not do anything with it. If you're going to take him down and put him and submit him, by all means, do that. But don't ground and pound. It's fucking boring to watch. And maybe I'm a 1%er in that. Maybe that's a hot take, and maybe I'm out of my water here. But I've been watching UFC since Shade Carwin was in the fucking ring going at it. I remember seeing all that kind of stuff. But still, I play the UFC game. I'm familiar with UFC. I know some of the names. I know some of the old names. I know some of the GOATs. I'm just tired of seeing it happen over and over again. Sure, whatever his name was that beat Dupree last main card, last pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. Drexus Dupree, was you not Volk? It was whatever his name is. Just has the beard and he's bald up here. Whoever that was, sure, you have the title. You finally get a title shot. Go in and dominate him. You dominate him. There's no way around it. Same with Conor Merab, but the guy continued to get up again. Was it Sanders that he fought Merab? He kept on defending him. Sure, Merab lost that first round, but it just gets annoying. And I might be out of my box here, and you could tell me that you're wrong and all this kind of stuff, but it's like, bro, I'm just trying to see some people fight. I'm not trying to see some people wrestle and one guy just lay on him and throw little jabs into his ribs. Sure, it gets annoying. I'd be pissed off too, but like, come on. Let's stand up and fucking fight and maybe make some ground and pounds in there. That's just me. That's Beyond the Spread. Like, comment, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next week. Let's have a hell of a weekend. Good luck to all your winnings next week.